Hello, welcome to Promixing and Mastering. Today I'm going to teach you and show you exactly what you can do to mix $1 million vocals. This is mixing $1 million vocals. I want you to listen to this.
You are the greatest, the finest. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like you. You are God alone, who makes the barren to sing. There's nobody like you. There is nobody like you. Glorious you are, marvelous you are, Jesus. There's nobody like you in the universe. Nobody can compare to you, to you.
All right, beautiful vocals, right? Excellent vocals. These are $1 million vocals. So what did I do to these vocals? I'm gonna show you guys. So first thing that I did was to make sure that I record properly, and then the second thing that I did was to get into my audio track, come to the inserts and put in maximizer. Maximizer is the reason why the vocal sounds big like this.
The greatest, the finest. There's nobody like you.
Yeah, and the mix really sounds great. Everything is widened up and they really are beautiful vocals. So the reason for that is maximizer. Now I'm gonna switch off maximizer and I want you guys to take a listen to this.
The greatest. You are the greatest.
Turn on maximizer.
You are the greatest.
Suddenly the vocal is maximized, bigger and fat at the same time. So what you do is throw in maximizer. This is Cubase's maximizer and put it on 1.0 is very much okay, and turn on soft clip. That's all. Then next, connect your audio track to a group, and this vocal is connected to group number 1. So let's go ahead and check out what is in group number 1. And of course you have to make sure that your instrumental is played well. As you can see, I have a lot of things that I've played along into that I've put into this song. Now in group number 1, let us go. This is connected to group number 1, just like I said, and in group number 1 I only have 2 plugins, but inside this virtual mix rack, that's where you find 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now the first thing that I did was EQ the vocal. If you want to get $1 million vocal type, you really have to take it slow with your EQing. Your EQing doesn't have to be much. When you look at most professional songs, they do not over EQ their vocals, so that is secret number 1. As you can see, I've rolled off a little bit of that low end and then cut off around 198.24 hertz. Well, this is because we want to make sure that the vocal has that warmth, and around 200 to 500, that's where you find that warmth. Do not overcut, because your the warmth of the vocal is not going to be there. And then I lifted up around 9,000 hertz just to open it up and cut off this unwanted frequency, which is around 2,951. Then around 1,000 I had to hertz, I had to cut it a little bit. Let me show you this frequency. You just have to cut it every time. This is around 2.84, so let's raise it up.
You are the greatest, the finest.
So you don't want that frequency. Just make sure that you cut it off, just literally removing unwanted frequencies. So that's the reason why I started with EQing. Start with EQing, and then from there comes in the virtual mix rack. As you can see, the first is a compressor followed by an EQ and another EQ. So we have 1, 2 EQs, and both of these EQs are doing something to the vocal. Without these,
you are the greatest.
oops, yeah. So they sound better when these two are combined in. So we have 1, 2 EQ, then we have number 3 EQ, which is the first EQ, and then second, and then third EQ. I have cut off a little bit of that high end or that top end. I have cut it a little bit because I'm looking for warm vocals. Low mid frequencies, I had to boost them up just a little bit to make sure the vocal sounds nice. Take a listen to this frequency.
You are the greatest.
So that is the frequency that I'm talking about. It's like a biting frequency. At the same time, it's like a distorted frequency. You want that to be combined together with your vocals so that your vocals can sound better. Just make sure you put it where the vocal sounds great without sounding bad. So let's take it back, and then we're gonna take it back all the way to a place where it sounds nice.
You are the greatest, the finest.
Yeah, so right there sounds great. Then this is the secret sauce. Every time you like take this one back to around 44 hertz, and then this one low frequency, these are lows, and then this one you have to take it a little bit to maybe positive 6 or 5. You want to boost up and add more body to the vocal. The vocal really sounds great with a reverb. And then from there I did a little bit of the same with this other EQ. I just had to raise it up a little bit, reduce a little bit, 1 hertz, and then around the low frequencies I had to increase a little bit also. Whenever you want to add a little bit of that distortion or saturation and also amplify the vocal, come to this guy right here, increase it a little bit, and your vocal is just gonna sound great. Let me reduce this. We are on 5.46. Let me take it back. Check this out.
You are the greatest.
Now I'm gonna increase it.
You are the greatest, the finest.
Beautiful, right? Then I had to take down the highs using revival, and then thickness with this one I just had to take it down to 0.0 because I had already added that thickness to the vocals using these two EQs. Then my main thing is the compressor. This compressor is what is doing most of the work. It's allowing the vocal to sit back in the mix, and also to just sound, you know, smooth and not harsh. I'm gonna show you this. Let me turn off this compressor.
You are the greatest.
See that? Let me turn it on.
You are the greatest.
Suddenly the vocals just sound nice, smooth. So what is the secret? The secret is that you have to take it all the way to negative 30 or 40, somewhere there, and then your ratio can be on 2 or 1, and then your attack has to be on 5, your release has to be a little bit around 2, somewhere there. So this is 2 there, and then makeup gain, this is your volume knob. I'm gonna do a video on this particular powerful, beautiful professional compressor. And then this is the mix. You mix your dry, which is unprocessed audio with the processed audio. So if you want to mix it up together, the dry and wet signal, but with me I encourage you to just take it all the way to maximum, around 100% to 100%. It's just gonna work properly. And then this circuit is always like this. Take it to 2, turn on transformer, and it's just gonna transform your vocals. And now with these turned on in the mix,
you are the greatest, the finest. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like you.
Very, very beautiful vocals. And the next video, due to time, I'm gonna explain what I added to make sure that the vocal sounds wet and everything. So check out the next video. I'll see you in the next one.